Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Oli Griffiths, and I have been working on Broccoli. I'm here to give you a little bit of an update on the past, the present, and the future. So, a little bit of quick history. Does anybody know how Ember CLI started out life? It wasn't originally called Ember CLI. Just raise your hand if you know what it was called. Okay, a little splattering there. So, circa 2013, Ember CLI started its life as Ember App Kit. And Ember App Kit was the brainchild of Stefan Penner and Yap Labs. The intention of Ember App Kit was to provide a sane project structure with ES6 modules, blueprints, etc., etc., and all the things that you know and have come to love about Ember CLI. Ember App Kit was light years ahead of its competition, and Ember was doing things that all the other frameworks could only dream about in 2013. So I went digging in the archives, and I found this little guy. So this was Ember App Kit's proposed original logo. And as you can see, Ember App Kit wasn't perfect. It was a little rough around the edges, and Tomster was even sweating. This is an accidental nod to some of the issues around Ember App Kit. One of the main issues was the fact that Ember App Kit used Grunt. And Grunt made us sad. The reason that Grunt made us sad was because it was hard to configure, and it was even harder to extend. And it was clear that it was just not up to the job to provide the build functionality of Ember CLI. So, a match made in heaven was born, and Ember CLI was born in 2014, almost a year on from Ember App Kit, and it was arguably one of the biggest features that hit Ember CLI was add-ons. And add-ons allows us to manipulate the build pipeline. So no longer was it confined to Ember CLI itself, but anybody could manipulate what your build was going to do. And Broccoli was the tool of choice that was chosen to provide this functionality. So Broccoli is the de facto build system used in Ember CLI, and that coordinates all the build steps. So you might be asking yourself, why Broccoli? Well, Broccoli has a very, very simple JavaScript API. There's not much to it, and this allows us to build on top of it. So Ember was using an old version of Broccoli, Broccoli 2.0.18, and recently it's grown up. It's grown up into Broccoli 2.0. And this has come with some super new features. So some of these features are listed here. I won't go into all of them because I don't have time. But one of the key features has been moving the temp directory out of your project. And this has resulted in some significant wins, as you can see by this graph. So some huge increases in performance have been had, up to 32% faster builds. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a lot of time saved. And during that time, I can be doing other things. And this has especially been important for Windows users. And the reason why this has made your build faster is that every time files are changed within your project directory, even if your editor is excluding watching for those changes, the file system is still firing off change notifications, and we're just ignoring them. And Broccoli writes and changes a lot of files as your build goes. So by putting it in the temp directory, the operating system just doesn't send those notifications in the first place, meaning we save a bunch of time. So we can see here, this is the representation of those changes if represented in emoji. Now, how do you get these gains, you may be asking yourself? Well, just upgrade to Ember CLI 3.5 if you haven't already. It landed in that release, and you should be experiencing these gains from now. If you are not on Ember 3.5 yet, go ahead and update. If you have any problems, do contact the team, and we'll do our best to help you out there. But you may be wondering, well, what about the future? So some of the future is here today. We have a new website with a bunch of documentation. So you should be able to go to broccoli.build, and you'll find a whole brand new website with a bunch of documentation on how to build Broccoli pipelines, how to build plugins, and so on. This was sorely lacking in the Ember ecosystem, so I spent a bunch of time working on this, and hopefully you will enjoy it. There's links to GitHub there, so you can go and view the source code, and if you find any errors, please submit a pull request to make some changes. So I'm running out of time here a little bit, so I'm going to breeze on. So some of the features that have come to Broccoli lately in Broccoli 2.2 have been unifying the Broccoli API with the Ember CLI API. So if you want to go and check it out, have a look at the Broccoli repo, and you'll find what some of these new features look like. But one of the key ones is that Broccoli now supports the ESM syntax for ES modules. So you can see here that no longer are we doing const merge equals require Broccoli merge trees. We can now use the ES6 import syntax like you're used to using in Ember. So that looks kind of similar to how things are looking in Ember now. And if we skip on for one more, we've got an example here of some of the new Broccoli APIs that we're hoping to bring to the plugin ecosystem. So we want to make some of the difficulties that come with building plugins. We're trying to simplify that interface, and this is something that it might look like. Here would be an example of concatenating a bunch of files together and outputting a single one. Obviously, this is all subject to change, so please, if you're interested, watch the Broccoli repo, and we will be working on these new improvements and a whole bunch of new things. Now, traditionally, there's one more thing, and one more thing for Broccoli is quite important. We've decided to adopt TypeScript for your Broc file, and this comes with some incredible benefits. Yes, there was one round of applause there, so thank you, that one person who's going to be adopting TypeScript for Broccoli. So instead of your Broc file looking something like this, it now can look something like this, and you can see there was one line change there, so it might not look very much at this moment in time because nothing else supports Broccoli, nothing else supports TypeScript, but as the future grows, we'll hope to find our Broccoli pipelines typed, and eventually our Ember pipelines typed, and everything becomes nice and type safe. So that's all from me. I am Oli Griffiths. I work for Tumblr, and we are hiring. And if you're interested in more information about Broccoli, go to broccoli.build. Thank you very much.